NAFCA. Hey, today we're taking a look at the Inquisition, getting a first look at what this new codex is. And just to give you a brief idea, these codexes are very much like these mini codexes that we had been talking about in the rumors about a year ago. So you very much see how rumors sometimes take a long time to come to fruition. This is a very cool codex. Okay, it's a little mini dex, and it gives you a little bit more flexibility on how to use your inquisitors. And I for one like that. I know there's a lot of people that are upset. They expected a little bit more, or they wanted a little bit more out of a codex. If you haven't, just in case you're not used to these digital codexes, I really love how you do the artwork. I mean, of course, that one's sideways, but you can click on the artwork and get bigger versions of it. And I absolutely love Warhammer 40k artwork. So, and you can click on stuff like this, and you click on her, and there you get, some fantastic artwork. So, I like the book. Some of the artwork is just phenomenal. I mean, you can see that picture there, and then when you go to something like this, you get even, a better picture of it. And there's more artwork like this spread throughout this entire codex. You can see here that it's divided up into sections, of course, like usual. The opening section. The next section is the most important to me, and this is the Inquisitorial Ordos. This goes into all the individual Ordos, and some of them are just really cool, okay? It talks about, for instance, the Ordo Chronos, the Ordo Scriptorum, Ordos Machinum, or however you want to say that, and the Sicarius. And then it talks about some of the other miscellaneous Ordos here. And I think that that's just cool. What really interests me here is there's an Ordo Militarium noted here, with greater than 500 Inquisitors with an area of vigilance of the Imperial Guard. That, to me, sounds like something that might be coming up maybe in the next codex. For Imperial Guard, or maybe it's just something that's going to be exciting for us in the future to model out. The one thing I do wish that was in this codex that is not is I wish there was a more generic Inquisitor that I could take with options that allowed me to play some of these miscellaneous Ordos that are listed in here. But here's Inquisitors of Renown, and you can just see, what that stuff looks like. Okay, it's just really cool. All right, just goes through. It does mention some of them from the Black Library, some of these Inquisitors, Eisenhorn, and all these Inquisitors, but they are not represented in the rules. But it does give you some fluff. And then the next section here is the Inquisitorial Warbands, where it goes into each model type that you can put in here, and goes into some of the background involved with them. And you can see here, I mean, we've kind of seen a lot of these in the past, especially this page we've seen. Minister and Priests are very cool in this edition. They have some cool new stuff. They are not independent characters, but there are some cool powers that really can help your war bands. So anyway, this goes through all that. Next is you have, of course, the model section. The model section is actually quite small compared to most of them. There's not a lot of big sections that pop out, so you can get really good looks at them. The Emperor's Will. This is the section that talks about how you actually can field the Inquisitors in this codex, being whether a primary, where you only get 3 elite choices that count as scoring, or you get an optional HQ, or you just run the one mandatory headquarters. So you kind of get an idea of how to field them in this section. The Tools of the Inquisition. This, of course, goes into all the equipment and all the abilities of them, and you can see what's in these sections. And then, of course, it goes into the forces of the Inquisition. And of course, when you start getting into that, you start getting into um, the information as far as what they can take. And I pull up the Cybolt ammunition section just primarily because there seems to be a little bit of conflict on what Cybolt, if chimeras can take Cybolt ammunition for their heavy bolters. There is the section. I know when if you get into the chimera section itself, that reference page that comes up does not mention anything about assault cannons or heavy bolters, but I'm with the opinion that that's not necessarily needed when you have it in the rules there. So, but I mean, here's more of the fantastic artwork in this book, and this guy is really kind of cool. But then it goes into, of course, the reference sheets, all the equipment and whatnot, and that's pretty much your book. I know at the end there's a little bit of an advertisement here for the Adeptus Sorority, for basically your Sisters of Battle, and that's pretty much it. So this is a quick look at the Inquisition Codex, and if you're like me, it has some new stuff in there and some new ways to field the Inquisition, and that's what I was looking for. So being able to field them as an Inquisition detachment is something that I really like, because I can field my Imperial Guard, my Eldar, and hey look, there's my Inquisition. So I have a lot more flexibility as far as how I can now field my Inquisitors and what they're in charge of. So that's pretty much it. I'll be hopefully getting some games in with the new Inquisitors, even though there's not a ton of difference, but there might be some new flexibility options on how to field them. So that's it. I'll be talking to you soon.